Am I the asshole for making my sister sleep in the dog bed outside overnight? So I'm currently in a leg and I'm cast due an accident and so temporarily moved back home with the rents and my younger sister. My parents are currently out of town and so it was just me and my sister. My sister has a tendency of leaving her keys behind, losing them, and usually we have to open for her. She was going out for a party Friday night and I warned her to triple check that she had her keys before she left. Surprise surprise, she left the keys behind, so she called me at like 3 a.m. drunk and telling me to open up for her. Getting up is missions in my condition and I'd warned, so I told her straight up that I wasn't coming downstairs to open for her, so she should call a friend and stay there for the night. Hung up, then put my phone on D&D. She screamed my name for a while until one of the neighbors told her to shut the fuck up, and so she, instead of calling a friend, decided to sleep in the old dog bed outside. Found her there in the morning and woke her up to get inside. She was hella pissed and yelled at me for making her sleep in the dog bed. She also found a tick on her later and blames that on me too. We've been fighting back and forth over this, and so here we are for some impartial voices. I feel bad that she slept outside, but also feel like that was poor choice on her part. Am I the asshole? Nta, you didn't make her sleep outside. She chose to sleep outside instead of trying to call a friend or remember her keys. This is on her, you told her to check and she didn't. Not the asshole. You warned about the keys. Sleeping in the dog bed was her choice. I don't know your full condition, but depending on it, you would not be able to go open the door to her. It's obvious where your sister went wrong, but I could never leave my sister locked out of the house when I was inside. If it took 10 minutes to get downstairs, then it takes 10 minutes. I can't see this as anything but heartless. For sure. Who the fuck actually lets someone sleep outside when you could just hobble the fuck downstairs, even if it takes you 30 minutes to do so? You certainly have the right to be pissed at her for forgetting her keys, but that doesn't mean you aren't also an asshole. How old are you and your sister? And couldn't you have just tossed your key out the window to her? You're the asshole. I'm sorry, but terrible things could have happened to her. There was no need to teach her a lesson that way. You're just an asshole. Wasn't there recently a case of a drunk woman being left in front of her home by a taxi driver, and because her brother fell asleep and wouldn't open, she was raped by a random homeless man? So I mean, but you're all lucky the tick is the worst thing she got. Why the hell would your parents go out of town, and your sister go to a party, knowing your situation, and the whole purpose of you staying with them is because you are recovering and cannot be in your own home, alone? Anything could have happened to you whilst home alone. Your sister also chose to get drunk, making her next to useless to help you out in case of any emergencies. Not the asshole except for you. You would have been better off just staying in your own home. I'm confused. You state that you weren't able to go down and open the door the previous night but had no issues doing it in the morning. Why? Was it really due to your injury or the fact that it was a mild inconvenience? Like others have said, it's not safe to leave a drunk person like that outside. She's your sister and they took you in when you needed their help. Before you come at me, I've actually had surgery and was in a cast for 2 months with minimal mobility and would have opened the door for my sister if I was in your place. You're the asshole. AITA BC, you still walked downstairs to let her in a couple of hours later. It sounds more like you made her stay outside as a punishment. She was drunk, it was 3 a.m, anything could have happened. She was drunk and irresponsible, but you're an asshole for not letting her in. That's risky behavior. You just never know if someone will come along and take advantage of her. I don't get people anymore. Being an asshole is so encouraged here, yet IRL it's rarely seen like this. It's all me. I truly hope you guys don't actually act like this, lol. Throw her the keys from your window. I don't know how's your relationship your sister, but I definitely could not have just gone to sleep without knowing if my brother was okay if he had found where to go. ESH including the comment section, you're 100 an asshole. Deliberately leaving your drunk younger sister outside is without a doubt more irresponsible than forgetting your keys. If you disagree, you're probably an asshole too. If you are actually able to get to the door to let in a habitant of the house in the middle of the night, you get your ass to the door to let them in. End of story. It is a different matter if you are totally incapacitated, but it kinda sounds like petty revenge and not having a drop of empathy, the way you described it. She is unforgivable for not taking her keys, but your punishment was unreasonably harsh. AITA. Esh. She sucks for not making sure she had her keys, but JFC, don't leave a drunk young girl outside like that. She could have aspirated and died. She could have been abducted or assaulted by some random passerby. I get she was shitty for leaving her keys, but something very serious could have happened to her. ESH, actually I've changed my mind. I don't think it's reasonable to leave a drunk person on their own in that kind of situation, even in your injured state. Even if you could not reasonably have gotten up, I think you should not have hung up and should have remained in contact with your sister until a friend had picked her up or you determined it was safe for her to sleep in the dog bed until morning. Your sister, obviously, should have had her keys with her. AITA. You left an intoxicated girl locked outside her own house all night out of pettiness, blocked her calls and used your injury as a justification. So if something bad had happened to her because she was drunk and not thinking straight and she wandered off looking for somewhere to stay, she wouldn't have been able to receive any help from you because you do not disturb your phone. Found her there in the morning and woke her up to get inside. So you could have went downstairs to help her, you just waited a whole night to do it. Seems like you just wanted to punish her and used your leg as an excuse. What did I just read? ESH, you're right to be mad and she was totally wrong to forget the keys, especially with you in this condition and with all the warnings. But forcing someone to sleep outside when you are, even with great effort, capable of making it so they don't sleep outside, is an asshole thing to do. She should be begging you for forgiveness, but it's never acceptable to force someone to sleep outside. You can't be 100% certain that she had anywhere else she could go at that point. You're the asshole. She is annoying and stupid. I know it would have been painful to open the door, but you should have. This was a dangerous position she put herself in. Next time maybe give the keys to DD or leave a pair by the door. ESH, you should have taken 5-10 minutes to let her in so she doesn't sleep outside. But like for real, why don't your parents get a smart deadbolt with a keypad if she loses her keys that much? You're the asshole. Were you not worried at all? Or curious as to where she might go? I'm not sure how you even slept knowing she was outside alone. I think it was really heartless to turn her away from her own home like that. Her actions were irresponsible, yes, but you could have been there for her when she was at her most vulnerable. You're the asshole. If you were able to walk down in the morning, you were able to walk down at night. You wanted to punish her, very cruel. She made poor decisions, but you should have helped her. You're the asshole. Do you even give a fuck about your sister? Be honest. When me and my sister were that age, we didn't get along, but even I would have dragged my ass out of bed to let her in the house to make sure she was safe. Your sister could have been kidnapped or raped or frozen to death depending on your climate. You're the older one, you're supposed to watch out for her. All these people saying she's an adult. She should have prepared. Clearly don't give a fuck about anyone but themselves, and I'm so sick of the selfish ass people here. Esh. This is how Leslie Mahaffey was murdered. Your sister sucks for sure, but locking someone out of the house is cold-blooded. I hope she learned her lesson. Not the asshole. She could have called a friend or anyone else. It's not your fault she chose the dog bed. Hopefully now she'll remember her keys. Info: what temperature was it outside that night? It sounds like she's an adult and your parents have been enabling her forgetting her keys. Having had a few hip and femur surgeries, and I can't imagine trying to deal with also a broken arm, I don't think you're the asshole, but it's a little complicated. I wonder how many people here actually understand how hard it is to get out of bed when you can't walk. Add in one arm out of commission. It's a leg and arm cast, not a body cast. You're the asshole. Sure, it's annoying, but you just completely ignored her. ESH, your sister is entitled, and this behavior is likely a result of her being coddled by your parents. You, on the other hand, left a drunk girl in a dangerous situation. I get being angry, you have every right to be, but even when I was in a 4-leg cast and would take 10 minutes to climb the stairs, I wouldn't have put a family member or friend in a dangerous situation because I was angry. Leslie Mahafai's parents did this and their daughter wound up dead.